My girlfriend announced, "I'm converting to veganism and so are you. I'm throwing out everything in your fridge." I said, "Your body, your choice." Then I changed my apartment door code while she was at yoga, moved her to a storage unit, and texted her the unit number. When she arrived home to an access denied screen, original post. I, 28 male, have been dating my girlfriend for about 14 months. We don't live together. Let me make that crystal clear because it matters. She has her own apartment across town with 2 roommates. I have a 1-bedroom that I pay $1,840 a month for, alone, with my name on the lease and nobody else's. She started staying over more around month 6. A drawer became 2 drawers. A toothbrush became a whole shelf in the bathroom. A spare key became her knowing my door code. I didn't mind. I liked having her around. She's funny. She's smart. She made my apartment feel less like a place I just slept in. But here's the thing about slowly letting someone into your space. Some people start confusing access with ownership. About 3 weeks ago, she came back from a weekend retreat her coworker dragged her to. Some kind of wellness and mindfulness thing at a resort a few hours away. She came back different. Not bad different at first. She was talking about being more intentional, cutting out toxins, living aligned with her values. Cool. I'm all for self-improvement. I literally meal prep every Sunday and hit the gym 4 days a week, so I'm not going to judge someone for wanting to be healthier. Then Monday evening happened. I got home from work around 6:30. She was already in my apartment, which wasn't unusual. What was unusual was every single cabinet in my kitchen being open and half my fridge contents sitting on the counter. Me? What's happening here? Her. Babe, sit down. I need to talk to you about something important. She sat me down at my own kitchen table like she was about to deliver a TED Talk. She explained she'd decided to go fully vegan. Not vegetarian. Vegan. No meat, no dairy, no eggs, no honey, no leather, the whole thing. She'd watched 3 documentaries in 2 days and read half a book, and now she was a convert. Me? That's great. I support that for you. Her. No, you don't understand. I'm not doing this alone. We are doing this. Together. As a couple. Me. I'm not going vegan. Her. I don't even know what you're putting in your body. Do you know what's in that ground beef? Do you know what happens in those factories? Me. I buy grass-fed from the butcher on 5th. I'm pretty aware. She did not like that answer. She started pulling stuff out of my fridge. My meal prep containers, chicken breast, rice, broccoli, the usual. A pack of bacon. Eggs. Greek yogurt. A block of cheddar. She was stacking it all on the counter, like she was building evidence for a prosecution. Her. All of this has to go. Me. None of that is going anywhere. Her. I can't be in a relationship with someone who supports animal cruelty. This isn't negotiable. I stood up, walked over, and started putting everything back in the fridge. Calmly. 1 container at a time. She watched me with this expression like I'd just slapped her. Her. You're not even willing to try? Me. Your body, your choice. My body, my choice. My fridge, my food, my apartment. She went quiet. Like, scary quiet. Then she grabbed her purse and left. No goodbye, no door slam, just gone. I figured she needed to cool off. I texted her that night saying I loved her and respected her decision, but I wasn't changing my diet and she needed to respect that too. She left me on read. Wednesday, I got a text from her best friend. Just a screenshot of my girlfriend's story on social media, a long post about how her boyfriend was unsupportive of her growth journey and chose dead animals over our relationship. It had like 200+ likes and a comment section full of people I've never met calling me trash. I didn't respond to it. I don't do social media drama. But I'll admit it stung. Thursday, she showed up at my apartment while I was at work. I know because my smart lock logs entries. She was inside for about 40 minutes. When I got home, I opened my fridge, and it was gutted. Everything, the chicken, the beef, the eggs, the yogurt, the cheese, the bacon, even a bottle of ranch dressing gone. All of it. Thrown out. She'd also gone through my freezer and tossed 2 months' worth of frozen meal prep. I'm talking probably $300 to $350 worth of food, easy. In place of all of it, she'd stocked my fridge with oat milk, tofu, some kind of cashew cheese, tempeh, and a bunch of vegetables I didn't buy. There was a note on the counter that said, "You'll thank me later. This is what love looks like. XO." I stood in my kitchen for about 5 minutes just staring at that note. Not angry, just done. You know that feeling when something shifts inside you and you realize you've been making excuses for someone? That's what it was. I called my buddy, who has a truck. Told him I needed help moving some stuff. He asked no questions, just said he'd be there Saturday morning. That's a real one right there. Friday, I went to one of those self-storage places near my area and rented a 5x10 unit. Month to month, $89. I also went grocery shopping and restocked everything she threw out. Saturday morning, she texted me she was going to her 10 a.m. hot yoga class and would come by after. Perfect. My buddy showed up at 9:15. We moved fast. Every single thing that was hers, clothes from the drawers, toiletries from the bathroom shelf, her yoga mat she kept in the corner, the blanket she brought over, shoes by the door, chargers, hair ties, all of it. 2 trips to the truck. Took us maybe 40 minutes. We drove to the storage unit, unloaded everything neatly. I'm not a monster. I folded her clothes, locked it up, and drove back. Then I changed my door code. At 11:47 a.m., she texted me, "I'm over. Want me to grab smoothies?" I replied, "Hey, I packed up your things. They're in a storage unit. I'll text you the address and unit number. The key is taped inside the lock cover. I also changed my door code. I think we need to take a break." Then I sent the storage unit address and unit number. 3 minutes of nothing. Then my phone started ringing. I let it go to voicemail. She called 4 times. Then the text started. Her. What? Her. This is a joke, right? Her. I'm outside your building and the code doesn't work. Her. Let me in right now. Her. You can't just throw me out. I practically live here. Me. You don't live here. Your name isn't on my lease. You have your own apartment. Your belongings are safe and secure in the unit. I need space. Her. Over food? You're doing this over food? Me. I'm doing this because you threw away $300 plus worth of my groceries without my permission, twice tried to control what I eat in my own home, and publicly humiliated me online. This isn't about veganism. It's about respect. She didn't reply for about 2 hours. Then I got a call from her mom. Update 1 4 days later. So the mom call. Yeah, that was something. Her mom called me Saturday afternoon, maybe 3 hours after the whole thing went down. I've met her mom a handful of times. She's always been polite to me, but I could tell she was the type who thought her daughter could do no wrong. Her mom. What is going on? She's calling me hysterical, saying you threw her out on the street. Me. Ma'am, with all respect, she has her own apartment. I moved her belongings to a storage unit and gave her the key. She is not homeless. Her mom. She told me you locked her out because she asked you to eat healthier. Me. She threw away over $300 worth of food from my kitchen. Twice. Without asking. Then posted about me on social media, calling me unsupportive. Long pause. Her mom. Well, she's passionate. You know how she gets. Me. I do. That's kind of the problem. Her mom didn't have much to say after that. She asked me to think about what I was doing and hung up. Standard stuff. Sunday was quiet. I actually enjoyed cooking in my own kitchen without feeling like I was committing a crime against humanity for scrambling eggs. Monday is when it escalated. I got a text from one of her roommates, the one I was friendly with. She sent me a screenshot of their apartment group chat. My girlfriend had told her roommates she was basically homeless and they needed to make space for all her stuff from the storage unit because she wasn't paying for that. Her roommate told me privately that my girlfriend had already gotten the stuff from the unit and brought it all back to their apartment, where it was now taking up the entire living room. But here's the part that actually made me angry. Monday afternoon, I got a call from my apartment building's management office. They told me someone had called claiming to be a resident's girlfriend and said she'd been illegally locked out and needed the door code reset. Management asked me to confirm, and I told them absolutely not. She is not on my lease, she is not a resident, and if she shows up asking for access, she should be turned away. The property manager was cool about it. He said it happens more than you'd think.
Tuesday, she showed up at my job.
I work at an engineering firm. Normal office building, front desk, the whole thing. She walked in during lunch, looking like she'd rehearsed a speech in the car. The receptionist buzzed me and said my girlfriend was in the lobby. I told the receptionist to tell her I was in a meeting. 15 minutes later, my coworker came to my desk and said she was still sitting in the lobby and told the receptionist she'd wait all day.
I walked out there.
Me, you can't be here. This is my workplace. Her, because you won't answer my calls. What am I supposed to do? Me, respect the boundary I set. Her, a boundary? You moved my stuff into a storage unit. Me, and you threw away my food, tried to dictate my diet, and blasted me on social media. We're not doing this in my office lobby. She started crying. Not loud, not dramatic. Actual tears. And look, I'm not heartless. 14 months of caring about someone doesn't disappear in a weekend. But I also knew that if I caved in that moment, this would be my life. Someone else deciding what I eat, what I do, how I live, in my own space. Me, I'll call you tonight. Please leave. She left. I did call her that night. It lasted about 20 minutes. She oscillated between apologizing and defending herself. Her, I was trying to help you be healthier. Me, I didn't ask for help. I go to the gym 4 days a week and cook my own meals. I'm healthy. Her, the documentaries said. Me, I don't care what the documentaries said. You don't get to make unilateral decisions about my life. Her, so that's it? 14 months, and you just throw me away like I'm nothing. Me, you threw away my food. I moved your stuff somewhere safe with a key. Those aren't the same thing, and you know it. She hung up on me. Wednesday, her best friend texted me. The one who sent me the social media screenshot originally. She said my girlfriend was telling everyone I was emotionally abusive and controlling, and she was gathering evidence in case she needed to take legal action. Legal action. For moving her drawer contents to a storage unit. From MY apartment that she doesn't pay rent for and isn't on the lease of.
Sure.
I'll be real. That one rattled me. Not because I thought she had a case, but because the word abusive thrown around carelessly can wreck someone's reputation. I texted her friend back and said, I have nothing to say. If she thinks she has legal grounds, her lawyer can contact me. Then I screenshot every text exchange we'd had for the last month and saved them. I pulled my smart lock logs showing her entries to my apartment. I kept the receipt from the storage unit. I kept the grocery receipts from restocking my kitchen. I even screenshot her social media post before she took it down. Update 2 9 days later. Okay, this is probably my last update because I think the situation has finally run its course, but the last week was honestly wilder than I expected. After the legal action threat, I went a little quiet. Didn't reach out, didn't respond to her or her friends. Just lived my life, went to work, cooked my meals, yes, including steak, it was delicious, and let things settle. They did not settle. Friday of that week, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. It was her sister. I'd met her sister once at a birthday dinner. The sister was more reasonable than my girlfriend generally, so I actually read the message. Her sister. Hey, I know things are bad right now. She's telling everyone a very different version of what happened. I talked to her roommate and got the real story. I think you did the right thing, but she's spiraling. She's talking about showing up at your building with her mom to confront you. Just a heads up. I appreciated that. I really did. I thanked her sister and told her I had no intention of escalating, but I also wasn't backing down. Sure enough, Sunday afternoon. Buzzer goes off. I check the camera, it's my girlfriend and her mom standing at the building entrance. I didn't answer. They buzzed 3 more times. Then my girlfriend called me. I answered. Me? I can see you on the camera. Her. My mom wants to talk to you. Face to face. like adults. Me. Then she can call me. I'm not doing a doorstep ambush. Her mom, yelling in the background, "Young man, open this door. This is how you treat someone who loved you." Me. Ma'am, I have this conversation recorded. I'm asking you both to leave. If you continue buzzing, I'll contact building management and they'll contact the police. This is not a negotiation. They left after about 10 more minutes of buzzing and her mom making comments about this generation, loud enough for the intercom to pick up. I saved the camera footage.
Just in case.
Monday morning I got an email from her. A long, rambling email that was half apology and half accusation. The highlights. She admitted throwing out my food was maybe not the best approach. Maybe. She said I overreacted massively and that normal couples don't put each other's stuff in storage. She said she'd been telling her therapist about the situation, and her therapist told her that my reaction was disproportionate. I have serious doubts her therapist said anything like that based on the version she probably told. She finished by saying she wanted to have one final conversation to get closure, and she'd accept whatever I decided after that. I almost believed that last part. I agreed to meet her for coffee at a shop between our neighborhoods. Public place, daytime, neutral ground. Wednesday at 2 p.m. She showed up on time. She looked tired, not in a performative way. Genuinely exhausted. Part of me felt for her. The other part of me remembered opening my empty fridge. The first 10 minutes were actually normal. She talked about how the retreat had made her feel like she needed to change everything in her life at once, and she got swept up. She said she realized forcing veganism on me was wrong. Then it turned. Her. But you have to understand how humiliating it was. You put my things in a storage unit like I was some kind of tenant you were evicting. Me. You threw away my food like you owned my kitchen. Her. That's different. Me. How? Her, because I was trying to do something good. You were trying to punish me. Me. I was trying to set a boundary. And honestly, I'd do it the same way again. She stared at me for a long time. Then she said something that confirmed everything. Her. If you really loved me, you would have just let it go. Couples compromise. Me. Compromise means we discuss it and find a middle ground. What you did was throw away my stuff and then publicly shame me when I didn't comply. That's not compromise. That's control. She didn't have a response to that. She stirred her coffee for about 30 seconds. Her. So we're really done.
Me. Yeah.
We're done. She nodded. She didn't cry this time. She just said, okay, and started gathering her stuff. Then she stopped and said, Her. You know what? You're going to regret this. You're almost 30 and you just threw away someone who actually cared about you. Me. Someone who cared about me wouldn't throw away my food and call me trash on the internet. She left. No dramatic exit. Just walked out. I sat there and finished my coffee. I'm not going to pretend there wasn't a heaviness to it. 14 months is 14 months. But there was also this weird calm. Like the first morning after a storm when everything's still and clean. 2 days later she blocked me on everything. Phone, social media, all of it. Her sister texted me one last time saying she's angry, but she'll be fine. Sorry about all of this. I told her no hard feelings, and I meant it. Her best friend posted some vague story about supporting women who escape toxic relationships, which was clearly about me. A couple mutual friends reached out asking what happened. I told them the short version. She threw away my food, I moved her stuff out, she escalated, and every single one of them said some version of, yeah, that tracks. The roommate I was friendly with told me my ex was back in her own apartment full-time now. Apparently, she'd already relaxed the strict veganism and was back to eating fish within a week.
Fish. A week.
This entire thing, the food throwing, the social media post, the ambush at my job, the doorstep confrontation with her mom, the threats of legal action, all of it, over a dietary choice she couldn't even commit to for 10 days. I got a $78 bill from the storage unit place because apparently when she picked up her stuff, she left the unit a mess and didn't officially close the rental. I paid it and moved on. Not worth the argument. My lease renewed last week. Same apartment, just me. I restock my fridge the way I like it. I've got meal prep containers lined up, a full freezer, and nobody telling me I'm a murderer for putting butter on my toast. Some nights, I think about the good parts. Because there were good parts. There always are. But then I remember that note on the counter. This is what love looks like. And I know I made the right call. Love doesn't look like someone emptying your fridge and rewriting your life without asking. My buddy with the truck asked me if I needed help moving anything else. I told him hopefully just a couch someday. He said he'd bring pizza. The good kind. With pepperoni. If you made it this far, thanks for reading. To everyone in the comments who's gonna say I overreacted, maybe. But my fridge is full. My apartment is peaceful, and I sleep like a baby. Take that however you want.